With us to break down what's been happening behind the scenes and on the ground in the city is Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem, Fleur Hassan Nahoum. Hello, and thank you for being with us today.
Happy Jerusalem Day.
Thank you. Jerusalem Day, the name suggests a day of celebration, unification, but the reality brings tensions and disappointment and anger from many sides. As part of the leadership of the city, what are your biggest concerns on a day like this?
Well, of course, our biggest concerns are the security concerns, to make sure that everybody can attend the parade in peace, can dance and celebrate and have a wonderful celebration in peace, and that there's no injuries and that there's no attacks. That really is our major concern. But of course, the actual purpose of all of this is to celebrate Jerusalem Day, the reunification of our undivided and eternal capital.
Now, you and your team have been preparing for this day for a while. What steps have been taken to try to ensure calm? And did you do anything different from last year?
Well, we're always, in this city, we always take security very seriously. This year, the city, in conjunction with the police and in coordination with the police, have made the plans. So there will be a very much heightened police presence. We've made plans for the route. I saw this morning toilets and water stands along the way. So anything that you need for a parade, like we would do any parade.
Did you do anything differently this year from last year?
No, we prepare ourselves every year in the same way we've done. You have to understand that the parade is one of many, many events that we have here in the city. We started already celebrating last Tuesday. We'll be celebrating till this week, till the end of this week. We've had concerts and all sorts of other events going on. We had a festive meeting this morning of the Jerusalem, the Knesset Caucus for Jerusalem. We had a festive city council meeting in the Rockefeller Archaeological Museum last week. So this is really part of a whole week of festivities.
You say a part of a week of festivities, but that said, there's some tension that is surrounding this day in particular and the parade especially. Some politicians and ministers like Nitzan Horowitz have said that the parade shouldn't go through the Damascus Gate, that it's pure provocation. What is your take on that?
Well, I don't think anything is provocation. I think our existence here is provocation to the radicals. And they're basically just looking for any excuse to start a fight. We saw that last year. This parade has been happening since 1968, and it actually follows from a very, very old tradition, hundreds of years old, of young people dancing with flags and going through all the gates of the old city. This is something very much entrenched in the culture here. And so, what's different this year from 3 years ago, 4 years ago? Why is it a provocation this year? It wasn't a few years back. So ultimately, we can't define our festivities by the people who actually want to destroy us. We have to define our festivities by ourselves. This is our holiday, and we will continue to celebrate our holiday. And I think any sovereign country would do the same thing.
Right. In the past month or two, tensions between Israelis and Palestinians, though, especially in and around Jerusalem, have heightened. What is the city going through right now, and how do you move forward from a period of such violence?
Well, there is the violence that you see in the media and the newspapers. And then what you don't see is the day-to-day shared society coexistence that goes on our city. Jews and Arabs work together, go to the same parks, the same malls, the same gyms. We're in the same hospitals. And that's what people don't see. People don't see the normalization that goes on every single day, the work and the shared society that we're building. And that is really the story here. And that is what the radicals are actually worried about. The radicals are worried about the fact that East Jerusalemite Arabs and Jews from all over the city are actually quietly, getting along very well on a day-to-day. It's always the bad apples that want to portray something different and ruin that peace and that calm.
Now, you mentioned the coexistence, the reality on the ground. What does a day like this do for the local population, the people who actually live in Jerusalem? What does it do for people who are there in their everyday life, going through it every single day?
Well, ultimately, this is a holiday today The kids are celebrating. We're all celebrating. I've got about 7 events today to go to. And so for regular people, this is a wonderful, wonderful holiday to celebrate the wonder that we're back in our ancestral capital here, the city that King David built 2,500 years ago as the capital of the Jewish kingdom, as a place where all tribes could gather. And what we have here is everybody coming together in celebration. We march in love. We march for love of our city. We don't use Jerusalem as a political football to manipulate people the way that the radicals in the Palestinian camp do. We actually love and enjoy our city, and that is what we're celebrating today.
A celebration of love for the city of Jerusalem. Fleur Hassan Nahoum, Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
ILTV Plus, your news from Israel and more 24/7. Start your free trial today. Subscribe at iltv.tv and watch from any device.